Hey everybody, Dr. Pancake Face here, and in this video I'm going to be showing you a stealth build with the brand new skills from Update 100. Now this stealth build is mainly designed for maps which are going to be all stealth. If you have a map where you do a little bit of stealth, a little bit of loud, you're probably going to need a different build. But if it's something where you're doing nothing but stealth the entire time, this is the build for you. Now, I won't be doing any gameplay with this build just because certain aspects of the build work on different maps, so I would have to do quite a few maps to show you everything about this build, but I will be essentially explaining what I picked and why I picked it. Now, first things first, under Mastermind I picked 3 basic skills. I got basic Forced Friendship. I got that for the extra cable ties and so that I can tie people faster. I got Confident so that I can increase the power and range of my intimidation. But mainly what I wanted was this, Stockholm Syndrome. This is essentially the new Control Freak. And the basic Stockholm Syndrome, whenever you shoot off your gun and you make noises, you get the civilians down on the ground. And that's really useful if you're doing something like bank heist, 4 stores, jewelry store, or diamond store. Those are the ones I can think of off the top of my head. There may be other ones, but I can't think of them right now. Anyways, yeah, you pop off a couple of shots, everybody gets on the ground, and then, you just shoot your gun every 30 seconds, and they just stay on the ground. So that's really convenient to have, because then you don't have to worry about having to tie everybody up, or, if you're just lazy, kill the civilians and then lose a bunch of money. So with Stockholm Syndrome, you can keep everybody on the ground. You don't have to worry about it. It's pretty nice. Now over here under Enforcer, I got a couple of things. Resilience doesn't really matter, but what I did want was Transporter. I had a couple extra points at the end of the build, and Transporter's nice to have, just so that you can carry the bags a little bit faster, throw them a little bit further. Yeah, it's just convenient. Now over here, this is pretty nice, because now I can get a saw in my stealth build. Because before, the saw was so high in the Enforcer tree, you had to sink so many points into it just to get to the damn saw. So, essentially, I had to have a build that it was specifically tailored for a stealth mission that needed a saw, and that kind of sucked. But now, I got a stealth build that I can actually carry a saw with, so that is really nice. I like that. But as you can see, I spent a basic in here just so that I could get up to here, and went on ahead and aced out portable saw so that I unlocked the saw, and so that I get an extra saw blade, and it also replaces the saw blades with carbon blades that they just last longer. So that's pretty nice to have. And then on certain missions, like for example the bank heist, where you need all the extra ammo to get open, or to open up all the what's the word I'm looking for? Deposit boxes. There we go. Can't believe I couldn't think of that. But yeah, went on ahead and picked this up and aced it out. Mainly for that mission, just so that you have the saw to open up all the deposit boxes. Now, over here under Technician, I grabbed a couple of things. Oppressor, Steady Grip, that was just, I had one extra point at the end, so I was like, what do I get? Extra Accuracy, why not? Because definitely hate when I go to shoot at a guard and I miss. That pisses me off. Now under here, under Breacher, grabbed a couple of things. Aced out Hardware Expert, so that the drill is faster, silent, and so that it has a chance to automatically restart. I aced out Drill Sergeant, so that it saws even quicker. And I aced out Kickstarter, so that it has an extra 20% chance to automatically restart. And I have a chance to just kick the drill and make it go even faster. Because we want to be in and out of missions, regardless of whether we're worried about getting spotted. If it's something like bank heist, which I do all the time, I want to be in and out of there as quickly as possible. I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time just sitting around waiting for something to drill. So having those drill skills is really nice to have. And then I also like to use the trip mines in sensor mode. So that basically I can put up all these sensors on a map, and whenever somebody walks past it, I know exactly where they're at. So I went on ahead and got basic more firepower so that I can have 4 more trip mines. Just to make it a little bit nicer when I'm doing stealth missions with the trip mines. Now, here under Ghost, I got quite a few skills, as you can see. I went on ahead and aced out the entire Shinobi tree, just because everything in there is really helpful. in stealth missions. Aced out Chameleon. It decreases the time before you start getting detected while in casing mode. You can also mark enemies. You ace it out, and you can pick items up in casing mode. Plus, things are more valuable when you pick them up. So that's, I think that's basically Dead Presidents and Chameleon combined together from the old skills. So that's kind of convenient. Then we have Sixth Sense. That's the one where if you stand still for 3.5 seconds, then it sends out this nice little pulse that will mark anyone within 10 meters from you. But now, if you ace it out, you get access to all the insider assets. And it reduces the cleaning cost of killing civilians. So that's, that's pretty convenient. Now over here we got Cleaner. This essentially gives you extra body bags and gives you the body bag asset. You can place down 2 body bag cases. Nimble. You gain the ability to disable 1 camera from detecting you and your crew for 25 seconds. That one is, gosh, I can't remember the name of that skill from the old skills, but that's the one that was all the way at the very top of the ghost tree, where you could ace it out and disable a camera. So that's pretty nice. Plus, when you ace this skill, when you ace Nimble, you lockpick 50% faster, plus you gain the ability to lockpick safes. Now here, these buff your ECMs. We have ECM Overdrive, which essentially makes it last longer, and now you can open doors with it. And then up here, we get Basic, gives you 2 ECM Jammers, and Aced Out just increases the duration even longer. So, yeah, I went on ahead and aced out all of this stuff because it is all going to be useful in stealth missions. Now here under Artful Dodger, I grabbed a couple of things. I grabbed Basic Duck and Cover just for the stamina regen and the faster sprint. I aced out Parkour for the additional movement speed and just being able to sprint in any direction and reload while you're sprinting. Because sometimes mobility can be the difference between winning or losing. Because basically, you take down somebody on one part of the map and you gotta run around and get to another part and take care of somebody else that might have spotted something. Mobility can definitely be very important in a stealth mission. So I went on ahead and grabbed plenty of mobility. And then I grabbed Basic Inner Pockets just to increase the concealment of melee weapons. Because obviously you want your concealment to be as low as possible. So went on ahead and increased that. Or as high as possible, whatever the hell. Whichever way it makes sense. You know what I'm talking about. Now over here, under Silent Killer, I grabbed a couple of things. Mainly because I had some extra points. But also because some of these are pretty nifty. Now, Basic Second Wind doesn't really matter, but over here we have Optical Illusion. Now this is pretty nice. When you ace this out, you gain +1 concealment for each silenced weapon you equip and reduces the concealment penalty of silencers by 2. Yeah, that is really nice to have. Because now, before I always thought it was weird that silencers increased the detection rate. Thought that was kind of weird, but at the same time, they take up a bunch of space. But yeah, it does kind of suck that you have to go into a stealth mission, and the only thing that you can equip to be silent increases your detection. That really sucks. But yeah, with this, it reduces the penalty of silencers by 2, and you also gain 1 concealment for each silenced weapon you have. So if you have a silenced secondary and a silenced primary, then that's 2 extra concealment. So boom, that's nice to have. And then went on ahead and aced this out just for the extra stability and extra silence, accuracy. So that's pretty nice. And then under Fugitive, I got nothing because I couldn't find anything under Fugitive that looked halfway helpful. But yeah, that is the skills that I'm running with, and here's the rest of the build. For the perk decks, I normally go with Burglar, because this one gives you the most buffs to your silent stuff, because here, standing still and crouching oh yeah, that doesn't matter. But the bagging corpses, there we go. Yes, you bag corpses 20% faster. So that's kind of nice. Over here, you lockpick 20% faster. And then here, you answer pagers 10% faster. So those 3 skills, very helpful in a stealth mission. So I'd go on ahead and run with the Burglar perk deck. Now as far as the equipment's concerned, the throwable, you might wanna run with the shuriken or javelin or throwing cards or whatever, whatever floats your boat. Sometimes I've found that a frag grenade can be helpful in certain maps like Bank Heist and jewelry store and stuff like that, diamond store, where people get downed behind walls. Sometimes it might be easier just to huck a nade and take them out so you don't have to really worry about them anymore. But at the same time, when you throw a nade, it alerts everybody on the map, so it might even be worse to throw a grenade. I usually don't use throwables in stealth missions myself, but, whatever floats your boat. Now, for the melee weapon, either the electric brass knuckles or the buzzer is what you want to roll with this, because essentially you tase somebody with one of these, and they usually get on the ground pretty quickly. So yeah, that's really convenient to have. I run with the two-piece suit to try and keep the concealment as low as possible. For the weapons, I pick a couple of different weapons. Now, most of the time, my primary is the Raven shotgun, because it's gonna have the best concealment. And it's a shotgun. And what's really neat about shotguns is when you shoot somebody with them, people go flying. So essentially, it gives you the opportunity to place bodies in certain areas. If you want to try and get them up onto a shelf, or get them into a cranny, or get them behind a wall or something, then the shotgun can be very helpful for doing something like that. But this is a gauge shotgun, so if you don't have that, there are alternatives. Obviously, any of the akimbo weapons have really good concealment. Yeah, the Heather submachine guns, the Shimano 88 pistols, those both have really, really good concealment. Or the AMCAR rifle, with the skills that I've got, and my secondary, which has a good enough concealment. That's the Shimano 88 pistol. That's what I normally roll with as my secondary. But now I can also pick the saw. That's pretty neat. But yeah, Shimano 88 pistol has a high enough concealment that now the AMCAR rifle with the low profile suppressor and the wide stock has a good enough concealment that my detection risk is as low as possible. So yeah, there's all kinds of alternatives. You don't have to use this one. This one's just my personal favorite, and I'll go ahead and show you what I've got equipped on it. I've got flechette rounds just for a tighter grouping, because in some instances somebody might be in front of a window, like Big Oil Day 1, for example. People are standing in front of windows, and if you shoot the person but one little pellet goes and hits the window, the whole thing's fucked and you have to restart the mission. So that sucks. So having the tighter grouping with the flechette rounds, really nice. So I've gone ahead and equipped that. Then I have the short barrel equipped. I have the silent killer suppressor. Somehow, with that thing being as massive as it is, only gives me -2 to the concealment. But luckily my skills negate that, so that's pretty nice. I have the compact laser module equipped, and then I have the flip-up sights. And that is how I get my concealment to what it is on that. So, yeah, that's my primary. My secondary I already showed you. The Shimano 88 pistol with the the size doesn't matter suppressor. That's what I'm using on this one. That is my secondary. Sometimes when I need to, I'll run with the saw, or maybe I'll use it as a primary or something. And then finally, the equipment. Now, the equipment that you pick will mainly depend on what map you're doing. For example, if I'm doing a Lesso heist, what I'm going to want to bring with me is the trip mines, because I want to be able to set the trip mines down and put them in detect mode. Those can also be useful on the Diamond, not the Diamond store, the Diamond, where you go into the museum, because that's useful to be able to put those down and know when people are turning corners and stuff. Other instances, you might want the ECM jammer if you're ECM rushing something like a jewelry store or Bank Heist or something like that. Then you'll want the ECM jammer. And then, the ammo bag, if you're running with the saw, that's going to be nifty to have if you're opening up all the deposit boxes on Bank Heist or Firestarter Day 3, either one. then the ammo bag is going to be really nifty to have, because that's going to give you the extra ammo so that you can go on ahead and open up the rest of those deposit boxes. And then finally, the body bag case. Now this, if if you go in with 1 or 2 body bags, and obviously you need some extras, this is going to be really helpful to be able to take people out. Because there's a lot of times, oh gosh, what's a good example? Rats Day 1, there we go. Where you're going into the plane, if you're actually trying to stealth that mission, kudos to you. But yeah, body bag case can be very helpful on that one, because you might get somebody down and want to bag them up and go and hide the body bag so that no one else sees it. Yeah, you're going to be bagging quite a few people, so the body bag case is going to be extremely helpful in that scenario. So I mean, yeah, there's all kinds of different equipments to use, and it all depends on what you're going to be doing and what map you're going to be playing. But yeah, that about does it for this video. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, go on ahead and hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Fucking them up. Fuck you, shield. And since I have hydrogen chloride, I don't need it. Or no, caustic soda. I have the caustic soda on me. I haven't got the hydrogen chloride yet. So caustic soda is next. So basically,